Today on Houston Politics, we're going to talk about the new light rail system that's been built in Houston and the sad story of the large amount of political opposition to it. This is another video in which I'm both going to be talking about and introducing you to the current light rail system, but also I want to talk about the sad story of opposition that is currently in place. Basically, we have a 7-mile red line that connects downtown, midtown, the museum district, and the Texas Medical Center. We built that line in 2004, and currently we are planning extensions of the red line to the North Line Mall just north of Loop 610, and we're also building right now an East End line and a Southeast End line that will end at University of Houston. Now, the sad story is that it took 20 years for us to build this original red line because there was so many, there were voter referendums that shot it down, and there was mayors who ended, like Bob Lanier, stopped a plan to build the light rail. In 2004, we approved a plan for a light rail, and that's what currently has been built, but even what was approved in 2004 has had to be cut back. Tom DeLay, when he was in Congress, prevented us from getting funding. We didn't even have federal funding for the current line that was built using state and local funds. And just last November, Metro put on the ballot whether a opportunity to take away a legislation which stated that a specific percentage of Metro's funds had to go to buses, and they were hoping to pass a law which would change that and allow them to put more money into light rail in order to accomplish the goal of complete light rail throughout the city as was proposed in 2004. Unfortunately, perhaps there was confusion at the ballot box, but the people voted this down and said that Metro was still required to put a certain percentage of their funds into paying for buses, therefore taking money away from light rail. The Uptown line, which would connect from the Hillcroft Center just south of the Southwest Freeway and would go north into the Uptown line, is going to be a bus rapid transit system until they can actually build light rail there. But that is actually in many ways bad news because it will mean a delay in how long it will take before we build light rail through Uptown Houston. Now, public transportation has so many positives, and I don't know if there's so many people in Houston who have never lived in a city with so much public transportation. It's an easy way for a pedestrian to get across the city. It's not as expensive as parking can often be expensive, and it is a much easier way to get in and out of highly developed urban areas. And I think that there's just so many positives to public transportation. I don't know why it is that Houston is doing so little in improving our public transportation. In fact, I think in Houston politics, I agree with a lot of what we do here in Houston and a lot of what we do here in the state of Texas. But what we're doing with public transportation in Houston, we absolutely need to expand it. We absolutely need to improve it. If you've been in a city that relies on public transportation, I think you will find that it is to our convenience, and it is something that Houston is sorely in need of. If there's anything Houston needs right now, it's a citywide public transportation rail system like what was approved in 2004. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm glad to have you. Houston Politics now has as many subscribers as my main channel, Double L Politics, so I want to reward my subscribers with a video. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. This is Houston Politics. We talk about the city of Houston. If you want to learn about the city of Houston, we also talk the politics, and sometimes we talk about the city and informing you on things about the city that you might not know. See you next time.